Hello and welcome. I'm Adri Gregan, and I'm back for Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Today we're getting into Season 1, Episode 16, and last time we learned about goddess magic, demonic curses, and then we had a ball watching the Frieren and Stark ship officially sail. Okay, not officially, but officially. Last time was a great episode all around. Obviously the first half we really got to see what Zine can do, and we got to see just not only how much benefit he has as a healer, as a priest, but also the intense resistance he has to curses, which are demonic magic we don't understand. Frieren also, once again, got to show off, as she typically does, and she annihilated what we also, another thing we learned about, which is these, I forget what they're called, but they're like flower beasts that effectively plant themselves into environments and create a subspecies depending on the environment surrounding them. So like a proper floral parasite, which is quite interesting, especially in this magical world where that can take all different kinds of shapes and sizes. So that was really cool. But that action-oriented first half of the episode, much like with the dragon with Stark a few episodes back, was amazingly overshadowed by the far less action-oriented second half, where Stark was enlisted to basically pretend to be a hero who sacrificed himself slaying a demon captain, and he got to learn some manners and etiquette. Fern got to as well, and they got to dance at a soiree, and it was just absolutely lovely. It was just so much fun to watch. So it was beautiful, like visually obviously, but just watching these characters, like when they're on the dance floor being a little bit awkward with each other, but then sort of relaxing and remembering that they're in each other's presence and they know each other well. It was just a really great scene all around, and just a great vignette. And of course the talk afterwards with the father wanting to basically use Stark to almost replace his son, and Stark of course shooting that down, because you can't replace somebody who's lost, and even if you could, you shouldn't, right? The hardest and yet the healthiest thing to do is just to confront them directly. And by the end of the episode, we saw he was engaging more with his son's training. So it seems like he's using that trauma, that tragedy, to deepen his bond with the family he has left, giving a new appreciation for them, which was great to see. So yeah, we left it off with that, and I'm not sure what we're getting this episode. I don't remember what the PV lines were in the last episode. I just remember they were really interesting, so I'll probably see them as they come, but I'm really excited for this one, so I'm not going to waste any more time. We're just going to get into it. Just a heads up, my uncut reaction is on YouTube as always, but if you want the unaltered version, that's going to be on Patreon. It's available for $2, and Frieren and every show moving forward will be on Patreon. If you do want to stick around though, the discussion will still be on YouTube, and if you enjoyed that discussion, please do like and comment, adding to the discussion on your own. It really helps me out, and it shows the algorithm that you engaged it and you liked the video, so it really helps me out. If you want to help yourself out other than joining Patreon, go ahead and subscribe. Unlike Patreon, it's free, and it lets you get notified whenever new videos come out. Frieren's like anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week right now, but before long it'll become 2 times a week until I'm caught up, obviously. Then you can help vote on what the next show will be. But I'm going to leave all that YouTuber housekeeping out of the side for now, and we are going to hop into Frieren, Season 1, Episode 16. And I think 18 is the official end of the first core. So either that episode or the next one. Probably episode 18 when we get the new opening. But, oh, this is Zine as a kid. And was that his friend? That far in the sticks, huh? Or is he just completely out of it? Oh, that was fun. Pulling him into adventures out of his comfort zone. Aww. Yeah. It is interesting that we knew Zine as a kid wanted to go on adventuring because of his friend, but here we see him kind of just enjoying fishing, which is a Pretty unusual hobby. Oh, okay. I saw fire and got worried. It's just a campfire. Jeez, don't scare me like that, Frieren. But it's so interesting because we saw him like a kid that age just enjoying fishing by himself. Like, that's not something you usually see. So he was quite happy just letting the time pass. I guess that friend really did just spark that desire for adventure in him to the point where now he's like practically chasing after him. I really hope that friend's all right. Oh, that's the ring, right? The ring that Piter or Himmel gave her. I think we've mostly filled out this opening now, so good time as any for it to change, right? Except for that, of course. We are gonna get that this score, right? Or is it just teaser for later this season? I wonder. Long-lived friends. 29 years, still in the northern region.
400年近く村を守ってきたドワーフだからね。
Oh, we're meeting another dwarf.
どのくらいでしたっけ?
Seems longer than humans, shorter than elves. 300 years. Voruji, huh? So that's the episode name. Not that 300 years is that long from Frieren's perspective. Smug Frieren. Absolutely not. Yep. But I imagine Zion's probably a little bit more alright with staying still than those two are. Even though he wants to be on the adventure, just being older, you're a little bit less in a rush. Frieren obviously being the logical extreme of that. Oh, look at that. Frieren and Stark just chatting it up. It's great seeing their relationship slowly develop over time. Is that him? He looks old. He almost looks like Himmel a little bit. Certainly got the weapon for it. Oh, he's old, all right. Oh? Ooh. Yeah, that sharpness in his eye. Let your guard down. Okay, so we got one of these. Both demons and people. That's true. Those demons were slain because they were careless. All the more so, I would even argue. The more experienced you are, the less openings you think you have, right? He's still down. Learn a thing or two. Time for another training montage. Stark's gonna have one of those every episode, isn't he? Still on that. Fine. You can come back afterwards. You got plenty of time. Dang, magic really just trivializes all the hard labor of living in the country, doesn't it? Not all the hard labor, obviously, but Frieren makes life easier.
どうせすることがないので
Hmm.
しかしフォルジーさんに友人がいたとはな。あんなに楽しそうに話しているのは初めて。
Hmm.
もうろくした
That's so.
普段は会話すらままならない。昔から村を魔物や魔族から守ってもらっているが、その理由はわからない。
Just a silent, stoic guardian. Yeah.
ずっと子
But
供
like a deity, no one can tell what he's thinking. How interesting. Maybe he just finds satisfaction in his own work. Doesn't really need the company or companionship of others. But clearly, even those kinds of people really enjoy it, and Frieren's clearly enjoying herself too. This is so lovely. Oh, speaking of lovely, wow. Iridescent mushrooms. I don't think that sword was big enough to kill something that big.
1週間は
Looked like that was barely even a flesh wound. Absolutely hopeless. No. It's a fast learner.
そう
He is used to training with
楽
dwarves.
しい時間だったよフォルジ
Hmm.
今ではとても感謝しているんだよフォルジーは
Hmm.
私がヒンメルたちに
Really?
機会をくれたから
フォルジーはなんでこの村を守っている
Love this track.
昔の話だ。どうでもいいだろう、そんなこと。
人はどうでもいいことに命をかけない。
Mm-hmm. Another serious Himmel.
私は愛した
Oh.
村を守っているだけだ。
Defending in her
人
place.
間だった。
Oh, different time spans. Wow, that's beautiful.
果たしているに過ぎん。
And I will for the rest of my life.
だが詳しく話すつもりはない。
Hmm.
あの人の顔も声も眼差しも伝わらん。
Hmm.
わしだけの思い出だ。滑稽な話だろう。わしはずっと死者との約束を守っている。
Nothing wrong with that at all.
でもきっとその人は
Yeah.
あなたが約束を
Protecting her honor.
守っていることを嬉しく思っているはずだ。
So rare to see this side of Himmel.
お前はいい勇者だ。
He is
魔王を打ち倒
a
すだろ
good,
う。
proper fake hero,
魔王
right?
が撃たれた平和な時代が訪れるのをわしの妻も望んで
You can help me fill out her wishes.
運命という偉大な勇者の記憶も
Aww.
わしが未来に連れて行ってやろう。
ありがたい話だけれども、ここまでしてもらう必要はないかな。僕のパーティーにはフリーレンも
Mhm. You can never have too many people.
ならフリーレンの役目だな。
Mm-hmm.
僕たちの記憶は彼女が未来に連れて行ってくれる。
Though you'll do plenty of that yourselves too.
別にいいけど
そうか。
So casual with it.
仲間に恵まれたな。
Absolutely.
じゃあ後で
They're ridiculous, but
僕が
there we go.
イケメンポーズ集を見せないとな。
There he
やっ
is.
ぱり覚えるのやめようかな
He had to let it out a little
でも
bit.
やっぱりイケメンポーズ集はいらなかったかな記憶
With all-
の世界だ
With all the statues around.
勇者の顔は覚えているか。
当たり前でしょ
Of course, yeah.
声は
私をバカにしないでよ全部覚えているヒンメルは私が人間を知ろうとしたきっかけだよフォルジーが村を守ろうと思ったきっかけと同じで大切なことだ
Mm-hmm.
そうか。きっかけか。わしはもう思い出せない。顔も
Too long ago. Ah,
眼差しも。
things fade with
それ
time.
でもわしは大切な何かのためにこの村を
But you still remember that. Even when everything else is faded,
フォ
right?
ルジーは冗談がうまいね。
He's old.
ところで
I don't think he's
お前
joking.
たちの旅の目的地はどこなんだ？
魂の眠る地、オレオールを目指しているよ。
それはどこだ？
エンデ、魔王城がある場所だよ。
そうか。ついに魔王を倒しに行くのか。平和な時代が訪れるといいな。
I don't think he's faking.
フォルジー、魔王はもう
He's starting to realize how old he is.
どうした？
フォルジーの記憶も
Mm-hmm.
未来に連れて行ってあげるからね。
He's nearing the end.
それも悪くはないな。人生の最後にお前に会えてよかった。
それ80年前も同じこと言っていたよ。じゃあね、フォルジー。元気で。
フリーレン。妻の夢を見た。
Hmm.
お前と昔話をしたおかげかもしれんな。
Brushing the cobwebs off those old memories, huh?
それじゃ。
So it is, not sayonara. That was a lovely vignette. Just so quiet, so peaceful. Not peaceful, but yeah, I guess quiet's a good word for it.
人探しだよ。俺の旅の目的覚えているだろ？
年上の色っぽいお姉さんと旅をすることだっけ？
Not that
確かに
part.
大事だが。
But donations are only as important as the friends that can enjoy them with me.
出た親友と合流することだ。
We've got to enjoy the Onesans together. Come on.
写真か、珍しいな。
昔村に来た魔法使いに撮ってもらったんだ。
Oh wow, that's really cool.
俺たちが通っ
The
てきた
camera spell.
北側諸国の主要な街道だ。今までも目撃情報があった。このまま北上で問題ないだろうな。
10年前だろ？よく目撃情報が残っているな。
名前が特徴的だからな。インパクトが強い。
なんて名前なんだ？
戦士ゴリラだ。
Senshi Gorida, huh?
うん。本名は？本当に親友だったのかよ。
Oh my god. Tell me his name was actually called. Tell me his first name was Gorilla and his last name was Senshi.
どういう状況なの？
I'm sure it's not, but
ちなみに俺は僧侶アゴヒゲ。
goatee priest. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
顎ひげ生える前からそう呼ばれてたの。続けるんですか？
She's just not interested in this boy talk.
名前だけ分かれば十分だ。あいつはどうせ必ずそう名乗る。
変なやつだな。
ああ、変なやつなんだ。
Weirdos attract weirdos. But there are weirdos.
この大峡谷を越えて1週間も歩けば、いよいよ魔法都市オイサーストだね。 本当
Oh,
に
thirst.
でしたね。なんで私を見るの？私は今回何も悪いことしてない。
I stayed for the week, just like you said.
ここで街道がいくつ
Friends impatient as usual.
いいよ。私たちも休みたいし。
なあ、10年前にゴリラって名乗る人来なかっ
Freaking 10 years ago.
た。戦士ゴリラ様。
Oh my god, they actually do.
インパクトがす
It does leave a memory. Yeah. He does seem like the type. Ooh, bit of a hero himself.
どうでしたかな。ゴリラ様は高台に住んでいる頑固ばあさんと仲が良かったようなので、聞いてみるといいでしょう。
Freaking 10 years ago.
わしは頑固者でのそう簡単に教えられん。
I see.
どうすればいい？
At least she's honest with herself.
わしの依頼をいくつかこなしてもらおう。まずは隣町の
Oh boy. Oh my god, it's a full JRPG quest. Oh my goodness. Then you have to slay this boss. Ooh, nice. Nice cut. You gotta slay this boss, which will have a 7% drop rate to open a key to enter into a dungeon that has several other keys with different puzzles for each one. Mm-hmm. That's how RPGs are like. Welcome back to the rest of the 10-year journey. Most of it's side quests. Just trying to talk over him. That is surprisingly loud. Ooh. Well, Frieren's not there, so it's probably not a mimic. That's a very large chicken. Rooster? Chicken. What in the world even is that? What the heck kind of side quest did they put her on? Charisma check. Yeah. That's a good point. The closest they've got is Zion. I mean, he's pretty handsome, though. Eiyu no Zou. Is it all the heroes? It is, isn't it? It has been a while since we've seen their statue of them. Oh. Generations, it lines up. How do you remember that too? Guerrilla Warrior, obviously. That's an... Yeah, they do. That one's an elf, though. Oh, that's craft? Huh. I guess so. Huh. Interesting. Craft is pretty old. Yeah, he recognized something too. You've seen Craft? Don't tell me he was the one who took the picture. Oh, he's definitely recognizing something. Back to that time. Oh! It was already there? Yeah, the theme of memory and forgetting. And there's Hyder. Oh, wow. Yeah, this theme of memory and forgetting, fading to time, present through both of these vignettes. It's great. Mm-hmm. Oh, from that point on, that was his inspiration, huh? I mean, it worked. Absolutely. He just gave it to him. He predicted the goatee. Or was it a self-fulfilling prophecy? Because of the, yeah. And that's why he has it, yeah. A self-fulfilling prophecy.
大変だったぜ。
銅像だったら魔法でなんとかなったのに。
ゴリラにも同じことを頼んだが、あいつはここまでうまくはできなかった。
He probably had a lot less magic. Yeah.
でも名前のインパクトはバッチリだったよ。
With the smile.
ゴリラは
That's what mattered.
よく話してたよ。
Because of his memorable things he said, we're also remembered. How interesting. Carving your name into history.
ゴリラの行き先分かった？
Probably not. Oh, tour.
中部の交易都市だ。
ここからはるか東方。
Hmm.
とは反対方向だね。
Only thirst. It's a big old detour. But I mean, they've got to go, right? He thinking of potentially going off on his own. Or are we going to have to make a Meiji detour for his sake? What interesting emotional crossroads. I mean, we've got to go, right? We've got to go. I really hope they go. They've got to go, right? They've got to go. I really hope we don't part ways. I like Nine a lot. I really like him. He's grown on me so much, even though it's only been a few episodes. I really hope this isn't us splitting up. You know, Fern's not gonna be happy with it, I'm sure. Though she's less invested in actually the destination here, so maybe as long as they keep moving, she'll be more okay with it. I must be. Melee, so good.
仲裁は僧侶の仕事なんだよ。
Mediating is a priest's job. Oh my god, more. Oh no. That better not mean what I think it means. We're parting ways with Zai next episode. That's gonna be really bittersweet. I didn't think he'd be like a long-standing member of this party, but the more I'm thinking about it, the more I really don't want that to happen. I've really grown to like him more than I thought I would. I really don't want to say goodbye, but that's also part of a journey, right? Saying farewell. Making connections along the way, coming together, splitting apart. It's all part of the experience. And even if we do part, very in tune with this, very in line with this episode, I don't think I'll be forgetting him anytime soon. Because this episode added a whole lot to him. It built him out quite a bit. It's so interesting because you don't see this very often, right? Just a boy who looks to be like, what, 12, 11, just fishing on his own at a stream, at a river. And this is, I love this first person POV, the call to adventure, right? His friend picking him up and putting us in his perspective, as the first person POVs do, with a whole lot of energy too in the shot. It's really great. And just him filling the frame, right? Oh, absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. And then we get to the first vignette, which is introducing the concept of time. Obviously, it's a main theme of the show, but really introducing the idea of forgetting, right? Which is an important part about time and about perspective. And it's really interesting because we play it off, and we don't really play it off, but we learn that he's the kind of person who pretends, right? He pretends to be more senile than he actually is, but he's got sharp eyes. And this is built up so we can undercut it later by showing that he really is senile. It's a thing he does, it's a gag, but it's fulfilling itself. It's not a self-fulfilling prophecy in the same way we see it later in the episode, but it's actually becoming genuine, actually becoming real. And because of how he plays around, how he acts, Frieren actually has a little bit of time, difficulty accepting it and realizing it until that moment where she smiles to herself and realizes it's nearly time. But yeah, I love the sharpness in his eye. And then he just takes him out. And most deaths in battle are due to carelessness. This is another really great line. It's the greatest weakness of both demons and people. Even the most experienced warriors can easily suffer fatal injuries if they're not attempting to defend themselves. This is so much more true than even he's letting on, right? The more experience you have is something I've briefly touched upon in a few episodes ago. I don't remember how long ago it was now, but the more experience you have, the less experience you think you need. The more you know, the less you think there is that you don't know. The more capable you think you are, the less prone you think you are to making mistakes. Because with confidence comes a confidence that I will do things right. And with that comes overconfidence, comes arrogance, right? You stop dotting your I's, you stop crossing your T's, and you become careless. Demons are the logical extreme of this. Since they focus entirely on one magic, they become extremely confident in it. And they become extremely confident since their whole existence is based around fooling humans. They become incredibly confident in their ability to hunt humans. So they become careless. They neglect their defense because they're so confident they can win. We see this in JJK, not without any huge spoilers, but with Mahito, right? Somebody who's never lost fails to consider that losing is even an option. So the more experienced warriors, yeah, they not only can even they experience fatal injuries if they're not careful, they are more prone to it, I would argue, than not. I mean, in mathematics, I'm obviously a math tutor, so I've got to relate it to mathematics. The more experienced you are with math, the more confident you are with math, the more you'll do it in your head, the less work you'll show, which leads to making mistakes. It's something we see all the time in stories, right? In stories where a protagonist has to defeat an overwhelming enemy. They usually do it because the enemy is overconfident, because the hero finds a weak point that the enemy neglected, because the antagonist is experienced, is confident, is powerful. They leave openings. So it's a really interesting duality that you don't often think about, and it's because you don't think about it that it works, right? That people fall for it, and it's really interesting. And I like that hint, the villagers talking about how he's senile. And like, we think, oh, it's just like Frieren said. It's just like Frieren said. He's just faking it, but he's not. Not anymore. And then we get into his motivations. Bull was defending the village his wife loved. His human wife. Keeping the promise from long ago. He doesn't elaborate then. But we learn later. And there's an interesting talk about people carrying your memory into the future. And it's a little bit of underestimation, isn't it? Because Frieren doesn't really carry Himmel's memory into the future. At least not yet, not in the 80 years since. Himmel did the heavy lifting there. His own actions carried his reputation into the future more than anyone else's words or anyone else holding to his ideas. Sure, after this, maybe like 200 years from now, 1,000 years from now, if Frieren's still around, she'll be able to do it probably better than his reputation will, but his deeds are what's carrying him into the future, even more than the good companions he's very much been blessed with. And then Vol asks Frieren what she remembers. And I love how, like, offended Frieren is. It's great. She's like, how dare you imply that I don't remember my friend, my treasured companion. But we learn that Vol wasn't doing it to test her. It wasn't even about her. It was about him. Because his age really is catching up with him. This line and this bit hits pretty close to home for me. Not because I'm senile, obviously. Hopefully it's obvious that I'm not. I mean, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm the furthest thing from senile. Maybe not the furthest thing, but, well, yeah, I am. I'm literally in the prime of my youth. And yet, I have a really, really bad memory. It doesn't show on this channel very much because I do look over, like, previous episodes and I try my best to make sure I'm, like, fully prepared to watch whatever episode I'm about to watch. But I have a really, really bad memory, like, unbelievably bad, like, self-esteem destroying bad. It's one of the big reasons I have self-esteem issues, because I can't remember names, I can't remember experiences, I can't seem to remember crucial life experiences that have shaped me regardless. And I don't know why. I've read that ADHD can be the reason behind a lot of short-term memory issues, but for me, it's short and long-term. And that's really frustrating to me because a lot of times, like, if I'm socializing, I don't have stories I can tell about myself because I just don't remember them very well. And it's also not only hurt my self-esteem, it's hurt my sense of identity to a large degree. I know these things have shaped me, but I don't remember them. At least not openly. This is obviously different from that. This is more from age. The natural biological weathering of your memory circuits. But the sorrow, the regret, the pain of not remembering something that feels like that you feel like you shouldn't not remember, that you have to remember, that you ought to remember, and not being able to remember it is devastating. It's tough. And yet, at the same time, even if you don't remember, it's still there, right? Even without the memory, the experience was still there, right? It still shaped you. It still defined who you are and who you'll become. And even if you can't recollect it directly, for whatever reason, the emotions, the beliefs, the foundation that it laid is still there. Even if my self-esteem and sense of identity is shaken because I can't recall key events or even largely how I felt during them, though I can remember how I feel about them. But even if I can't remember those events directly, I know they affected me and I know they guide me. So at the very least, I can have faith in that. I can put my faith into who I am today because I know I've been shaped, even if I cannot see the forge nor the mold that shaped me. Because there is still that important something. Because there's the emotion, right? There's that intangible something from those memories, from those events, that's still there. It's hard to put to words, but it's powerful. For him, it's what his wife loved. He's treasuring her, even if he can't remember her details. But he's still honoring her. It's such a heartbreaking moment. It's the moment you realize, because there's no reason he has to joke about this, right? And him being so small against a sea of stars. Her being shot in this direction almost as if he's just been cut off, he's been removed, because he's not long for this world. I hope that brings peace. She almost corrects him, and then decides against it. Because that's not important, right? It's not important that he knows the details. He's not studying for a test. It doesn't matter if he knows whether the Demon King's slain or not. What matters more right now is that he's about to become history too. So she'll carry his torch as well. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I wouldn't mind that. And he's aware of it, of course. He knows how old he is. And it's just so bittersweet. So beautiful. And then we move on into the second bit and we learn more about Zine. Guerrilla warrior. And people actually remember him despite 10 years ago. Again, continuing the whole thing about memory. And we do all these crazy side quests, this crazy RPG mission. And then we learn about heroes, ancient heroes, even older than Himmel's group. So ancient that people don't remember anymore. Isn't that so interesting? And it might be Kraft, who we know. But they've been lost to time. And it seems their events have as well. Their deeds, why they were immortalized. Which is really interesting. Our gut reaction, since we know Himmel's crew, is that Himmel won't be, right? Himmel won't be forgotten. What they've done must not have been that bad. It's the thing I hate most that I've heard parents say, the thing that grinds my gears. If you forgot it, it must not have been that important. It's such a easy fallacy to disprove, but it's so easy to fall back on because it makes sense on the surface. Oh, these guys weren't remembered. They must not have done something as important as Himmel. But what if they slayed like the demon emperor, the demon god, like 1,000, 2,000 years ago? It doesn't matter how great their feat was. After enough time, everything gets washed away, right? I mean, how many of you genuinely can tell me 5 history-defining things that King Gilgamesh did? Ozymandias? Heck, even Cleopatra. These people defined the shape of history as we know it. And yet we don't really remember them. We have statues of them. Their names are like imprinted in our heads, which these guys even aren't. But we don't really remember them that well because memory is such a feeble thing. It's such a fickle thing. And that's why we make statues, right? Because actually remembering their names, actually remembering these events, that's not what's important. What's important is what it means, that we honor them, that their deeds, even if are forgotten, are appreciated. And we don't need to know, that sounds like a contradiction. How can we appreciate them if we don't know them? But I think that's too simplistic. The reason I like teaching math and the reason I want to teach either math or histories, not because I think it's important to know, even though I think it is, it's because I don't think most people teach or know the reason why we learn these things. Especially math. Most people don't know why, because we're not going to use most of the stuff in real life. But it's about going through those motions. It's about teaching your brain how to do these things. And even if you won't remember it, it is about familiarizing with yourself and appreciating the language of the universe, which is what math is. So you don't need to remember how to do long division, though you probably should. What you should know is that it exists and that you are capable of doing it and giving your brain the reps to do it. It's the reason behind what you're actually doing. In the same way, these heroes don't need to be remembered. I think they should. I think it's a shame they're not. But after enough time, everything gets washed away. But the fact that they were recognized in these statues and that the old lady wants them to be cleaned even without knowing their names, they're still being honored. You don't need to know their names or their deeds to honor them. As long as you take care of their statues and you recognize that they were great people and that they did something worthy of this, then they're being honored. And that's the important thing. And I like that. I really like that. And so they clean it up. You would be heroes who will be remembered forever, if such a thing is even possible. And then we reach the crossroads. Something tells me next episode's going to be tough to watch. It's going to be bittersweet, I can already tell. I'm looking forward to it, though. If you're looking forward to it as well, again, get subscribed to be notified as soon as it comes out. If you want to watch the unaltered version, join Patreon if you haven't already. $2 a month gets you access to all of my unaltered stuff. And gives you extra votes for whenever polls come out next. JJK one's coming up pretty soon, so you want to hop on, go ahead and do it. It's a great time for that. I'm watching JJK, by the way, as well, if you didn't know, if you're new here. But if you did like the video, please do remember to leave a like before you go. It shows me that you really enjoyed it, and it shows the algorithm that people are engaging with it, so it'll show it to more people, and we can build out this community. In the same way, leaving a comment, whether it's something in the episode that I missed or something I kind of looked over or misconception I have them all the time, or just something that I said that you agree or disagree with, something you just want to build off of, go ahead, leave it in the comments. I read every single one without exception. It is an absolute joy, not only building this community, but watching the discussions that blossom from it. So yeah, I'd love to see you down there. But regardless, whether you go down there or not, whatever you end up doing, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day and for enjoying this experience with me. And until the next one, have a lovely rest of your day.